Hola, what's up guys? I just got a call back. I was gonna come and check anyway, but they were complaining that that old system that I did all those patches to, they're like, hey, it's hot again, it's super hot. They showed me two thermostats though that were in the 80s. So we're gonna go up there and see what happens, see if I screwed up or if something else is going on. All right, so we're on the roof now. Just doing a quick check. The one I worked on is on. I already threw a thermometer on there. So we got 61. And she said it's been maintaining 71. So I'm like, okay, what's the problem? What's the issue? They should all be running right now. They are all calling. There's 4. So there's 2 for the middle part. But as you can see, we have another one that is completely off here. So we're gonna open this one up real quick. All right, so I did verify that the thermostat is calling. This is a super old system. There's no board in this one. Feels like it's been off for a while. So this is our thermostat wire. I need to see if it's calling or we have power here. I'm gonna check that we have power here. It's been off for a while because I went down to my van and I went down to talk to the manager real quick so they can put in a work order, because the one that we did is fine. Next one is the one that's out. Even this old one that I worked on, I don't know, a couple years ago, still running good. That's also one that had a lot of problems. So the only one that's not running is this one. So if we check a few things, right? Voltage. I can tell we have power. That phase monitor is green. Everything is okay. So we do have 240, 239, 241, 242. That's fine. Then if I go and check these, and the high side's looking a little rough. I don't see any shorts. Oh, we could unplug it here. So, oh, we got a lot of rub outs right there. I'll have to tidy all this up. So, real quick, don't try this at home. Turns on. The fan motor's not coming on. Alright, let me go talk to him real quick. Alright, so on this one I can't reach it. I can't reach it from the top. Here's our good old test. Oh shit, I can't even move it. Yeah. It's locked up. So we're just gonna get that swapped out, clean up some of this mess, and get out of here. Get them going. Little elbow grease, but we got it. Don't usually have that much problems. It was just super it's a super old system. It's super rusted. All right. Where the fuck did all my screws go? I'm gonna end up finding it. I had one missing. I'm gonna end up finding it after I put everything back together. I have to get some zip ties, but I do cover any connections that are, or connectors that are exposed. If you're trying to feed through this and it's kind of thin and you have these flat connectors, bend them up like this and they feed better at an upward angle. So like that. So I was able to feed those two by bending them, and then these two are easy, just kind of twist them together and feed them through. So I'm gonna get zip ties that ran out to secure those wires, this little conduit, so we can feed it back in and put everything back together. I almost completely forgot, these motors, at least the ones I get, have plugs on both sides, so this thing's gonna be upside down. I'm gonna have to remove that one. It's upside down. That's just a drain plug. If any water gets in the motor, it comes out through here. Do not remove the one that's on the top of the motor. So if it was facing like you see it right now, you would leave that one on, remove the bottom. If we're turning it around like today, removing this one, keeping the one on that side. All right, so I just had to remount the conduit because apparently it has a little curve to it. And that's the only way to get these screws in right now. Put that in. Tidied up everything as best as I could. It's aftermarket motor. Changed out our same name but different country apparently. Titan made in China, Titan made in USA. Got that changed out, cleaned up some wiring. I'm gonna recommend some contactors and a few other things, cleaning, maintenance, you know, all that jazz. And we'll just see if it turns on for today. Just want to make sure it's working. I think it was working before, but man, all these they could use a new system, but at least maintenance on like 3 out of 4 units. All right, I left for like 10 minutes, took a little break, walking up to it, still not on. So we're gonna hook up our gauges real quick and check out those pressure controls. Our red, obviously 24 volts. We'll just check it to copper. We have 23 right there. It's gonna be hard to show that. $27 yellow, 27 as well. So we are calling. There's no board. Transformer obviously is working. All right, so I wanted to get all this unraveled that I had tied up just so you guys can see all these safeties. It's the low pressure, discharge temperature, and high pressure controls. They're all in series. There's no board on this one, so it just goes out and through. It loops back around from the transformer through all these safeties and back around to the contactor, essentially, just to keep it simple. So this is our pressure control, which I think it's had issues before. It's been bypassed before. This one has connectors. I could have just cut it anywhere to check, and we're gonna check continuity. So this is our high pressure. And right there, there's nothing, so that switch is open. Let me just double check. The black wires are the temperature sensor, the discharge temperature. And you see that one, we are getting that it's closed. So I'm gonna leave the discharge temperature hooked up, but we're gonna have to, for now, bypass our white. So then, if they have the same, yeah, I can just hook up our low pressure directly into the high side, or the discharge temperature. Do it that way. And now, this one, which I'm just gonna end up cutting. So this is completely taken out. Just gonna cut it here. So our sensor, temperature sensor, will still protect it somewhat, but I'd rather have that's high pressure switch. All right, so I don't want to leave it without a pressure control safety. It is going to be protected somewhat by the discharge line temperature. So if that discharge line starts getting super hot, it'll cut the system out. I'd rather have a pressure control on there. Those pressure controls usually trip around 600 or so PSI. So we're gonna, I think I have the pressure control. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think I have another T. So I'm gonna have to get a T valve, a swivel T, so we can still get one port to check and then the other port for the pressure control. That way, like I said, I don't have to recover anything. And then now we just turn it on. And it came on. All right, now they got cooling. All right, so when I initially bumped the contactor, I had about 400 PSI, so nothing crazy. If it had jumped up 500, 600 PSI, I would have been like, oh crap, something's wrong, right? But I turned it back on right now. We got about 450, 460 PSI. It is a very hot lobby, so I'm gonna monitor it on my job link. As long as we don't get, like I said, too much over 500, in my area, we can reach that, because like right now the discharge temperature there is 126 degrees. It's getting over 100. We could very well, you know, climb up somewhat, but it looks like it's evening out now, which, you know, great. So I'm gonna let it run. I'm gonna pack up my tools, and like I said, I'll probably do this another time as far as the pressure control. That way I know I have everything. Still waiting on the work order that they put in. They have to request it. I have to get the email. I have to do all this stuff. I have a not to exceed. It's the way a commercial is. And I have other calls coming in, so I need to get out of here and go tend to those first, because this is working. I just got to come back and do that quick pressure control and be done with it. Hey, what do you know? I actually had one in, like, I have a drawer for these RTUs of parts that I commonly use, and I had one that was actually already put together with the T. I guess I used it to test, probably test an old unit that wasn't working, and it's the one that I need. It's a 600 cutout with 475 reset. So I'm gonna take a little break, let the unit run and cool down the space a little bit, and then I'll go back up and just tie this in. All right, that's what it looks like, as long as it's not hitting the panel. These you do have to torque down with a wrench. These caps, these have a gasket in, they're just hand tight. And we are good to go, as long as we don't have any leaks or anything. This thing was already cooling really well. So we're going to get them cooling for however long this will last. All right, guys, we are good to go. Felt really good. We had some change outs in the past couple of weeks, and then I got to work on some really old systems. So we got to bring this one back to life, the one that we patched next to it. And then a year or two ago, I repaired similar age unit, the third one. There's a fourth one, but that one's been replaced. So 3 units working perfectly fine. The one that we patched, super cold, so that one's been working good. Once I got this one running, it was nice and cool in the lobby front area. So they're happy. And now I have to go to do some refrigeration calls. It sounds like dirty coils, but it's like small coolers. I've worked on so many of them, and it's always like maintenance stuff. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you got something out of it. If anything, you know, learn to properly stock your van. I got lucky that I had everything that I needed for this, you know, fan motor, pressure control, and the swivel T, so I didn't have to do any recovery, cutting line sets, soldering, any of that, purging nitrogen. Would have been a whole bunch of work just for that pressure control. So a lot of times, especially on older units, just put a swivel T on the port. You get 2 ports. You can have one for your pressure control and have one to check pressures with your manifold or whatever it is. And you know, you get it going way quicker versus, you know, like everything else, like doing it the OEM way. So like I said, hopefully you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. See you guys.